website where you get details behind the leading business headlines and key data releases. It was a sober start to the day for markets as fear sparked a flight to safety and risk aversion amid the news of what is now confirmed to be a limited strike by Israel. Israel has still not commented, neither has Iran confirmed the scale of the damage. Crude oil went up over 3%, came down again in a very volatile trading session. Brent is now under $88 per barrel after it broke the $90 mark briefly in the morning. Gold prices were also set for the fifth consecutive week of gains. Gold trading around $2,390 an ounce. Netflix was dragged down about 8% by the risk-off mood, also perhaps worsened by the notice given that subscriptions data will no more be made public, which markets see as a way to mask an imminent downturn, which it already says could happen in subsequent quarters, but only for seasonal reasons. And Meta has started rolling out its free artificial intelligence assistant, Meta AI, across WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and Messenger. CEO Mark Zuckerberg said in a video, Meta Llama 3, its most powerful large language model used to build the AI assistant, can answer questions, create animations, and generate images. And it's also partnered with Google and Microsoft to provide answers from both companies' search engines. It's also not yet available in the US and it's also not available in the UK and Europe yet. Meta will announce its first quarter 2024 financial results after market closes on Wednesday. Meta shares down 3.05% as we speak. It's 15:30 GMT. A sixth day of losses for the S&P is looking likely with all the rising geopolitical tensions. Let's not count out the technology earnings season, which will be in full swing next week. A sixth day of losses for the S&P is looking likely with all the rising geopolitical tensions. Let's not count out the technology earnings season coming out next week as a possible positive catalyst. Yesterday, the world's largest chip-making company, TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, did beat on both top and bottom line, but also alerted of a future downturn in growth of demand for PCs and iPhones, impacting future sales of its semiconductors. Is the rally going to get back on track? At least not this week. It won't. We also replay an earlier chat on yesterday's Netflix results. JPMorgan has sent out a strategy report to its clients, warning them that the world needs a reality check on its move from fossil fuels to renewable energy, adding that it may take generations to hit net zero targets. Christian Malek, JPMorgan's head of global energy strategy, said efforts to reduce the use of coal, oil, and gas had been set back by several factors, including higher interest rates, inflation, and wars in Ukraine and the Middle East. Many variables have changed. The geopolitical environment is also different. Government debt is significantly higher, and the buffers are eroded, making it difficult for further subsidies on green energy. The report warned that the cost of green energy would be high, and pushing higher prices for energy will be resisted and could cause social unrest. Indeed, high interest rates disproportionately affect green energy investments because of the inherent lower returns for those business models and high capital intensity. The report came after oil companies, including Shell and BP, trimmed back their climate targets this year, and hundreds of other companies soft-pedaled on setting goals that were ambitious enough to be approved by the validation body set up after the UN COP26 climate summit in Glasgow. Netflix has in recent times focused on driving profit by raising prices, cracking down on password sharing, and growing its ad tier service. And that seems to have paid off as it unveiled its results yesterday. Netflix posted better than expected earnings, revenue, and subscriber growth for the March end quarter. But it also said it will stop posting its quarterly membership data and average revenue generated per member, saying that now that there are different cadres of membership, the information was not as useful. Netflix has been standing out amongst the other streaming players who are struggling to be profitable. Remember last year, its paid membership grew and it saw a 12% bump in revenue. This year seems to be starting on a similar note. Net new subscribers in the quarter was 9.33 million, almost double 5.1 million expected. Revenue was $9.37 billion, beating $9.24 billion forecasted. Earnings were $5.28 a share, also above guidance of $4.49. Netflix sees a Q2 revenue of $9.49 billion, which is close to $9.52 billion that the market was expecting. But they also warned that subscriber growth will be down in the next quarters due to seasonal factors. Stock of Netflix was down 2.4% in after-hours trading following the report. Netflix has built exceptionally well on its core streaming offering, finding synergy in partnerships in the live viewing, entertainment, sports, and other segments with higher growth and a strong menu of original programs and international offerings, moving aggressively outside the US into Asia and Africa. Its crackdown on people using someone else's account also paid off, as well as the cheaper ad-supported tier of subscription. Its ad tier was so popular, Netflix says about 40% of viewers elected to be on this cheaper service, and we understand Disney and other players are said to be planning to copy a similar move. The value proposition is simple: bringing the best entertainment to you anywhere you are and whenever you want it, with a very broad variety of offerings. Netflix sells convenience, wider choice across cultures and nations, and quality. It's an unbeatable, rich mix. Huge cost barriers and are there to be able to emulate what Netflix is doing, and no surprises, it just seems to be growing and growing. Just a minor snag. Agreed, indeed, entertainment has moved from the days of Sound of Music, when the hero always married the heroine and all lived happily ever after. The number one film today on Netflix, What Jennifer Did, is about how this young girl faked her degree, student loan letters, and hired murderers to come in her home and kill her parents. Jennifer Pan's shocking criminal case that took place nearly a decade ago has been thrown back into the spotlight in the form of a Netflix documentary. It went straight to the top of the table in terms of films people are watching, feeding a new disturbing demand for gory crime thrillers. And as we continue to monitor news of retaliatory missile strikes, the UK and the US have rolled out fresh sanctions against Iran. According to a White House statement, the US sanctions target leaders and entities connected to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Iran's defense ministry, and the Iranians' government's missile and drone program, and those enabling this war. The UK Foreign Office imposed a travel ban and asset freeze on 7 individuals and 6 entities, including those involved in drone and missile programs. It's unclear whether sanctions work if, for example, they have deterred Russia from its aggression against Ukraine. It tends to further deepen difference and helps to justify the narrative of mutual hatred that makes these wars go on for longer. Longer wars can be very costly for innocent businesses and citizens. Rating agency S&P Global just downgraded credit ratings for Israel, citing escalating geopolitical tensions in the Middle East as a result of the country's war against Hamas in Gaza. Yesterday, Google said it had terminated 28 employees protesting an Israeli cloud contract, Project Nimbus. And that is a $1.2 billion contract awarded to Google and Amazon in 2021. It supplies the Israeli government with cloud services and supports the development of military tools for the Israeli government. In 2018, workers successfully pushed Google to shelve a contract with the US military. That was Project Maven, and that project was then meant to analyze aerial drone imagery with potential application in warfare. In the new high-tech warfare, missiles and drones are empowered with high-tech tools. The warriors of tomorrow's battles will be engineers, mathematicians, and scientists, analyzing and delivering the most strategic military intelligence capabilities in high-tech laboratories. Some have argued that wars will not stop, but could be less brutal if the means to fight it cease to exist. Tomorrow's battles are heavily infused with latest technology, and all the geoeconomic troubles imply a windfall for defense contractors and big tech who provide the new intelligence engine. Google is not the only beneficiary from tech-enabled warfare. We could see more employees protesting and preferring not to be part of the military supply chain at a time when people are more assertive on values and not just their compensation. Granted, possibly others will ask for more pay to soothe an aching conscience. UK March retail sales growth was flat, 0% after 0.1% growth in February. Volumes sold in food stores fell 0.7%, with non-store retail sales, which includes online shops, stores and markets, also declined 1.5%. However, analysts observed that quarter-on-quarter sales volumes were up by 1.9%. This positive quarter-on-quarter retail sales growth comes after two previous quarters of decline. The House of Representatives in the US overwhelmingly passed a bill countering China's purchases of Iranian crude oil. They want to sanction transactions between Chinese financial institutions and Iran, with the legislation now moving to the Senate for consideration. Israel's attack on Iran today led to risk-off activity and a stampede into safe haven assets like the Swiss franc, US government bonds, and gold. Some of these moves have been pared back, and benchmark treasury yields have also slipped just a few basis points. And as we close, it's all geopolitics. Stocks Europe 50 is flat. Stocks Europe 600 is down 0.15%. FTSE 250 also down 0.31%. FTSE 100 slightly up 0.24%. The German DAX is down 0.55%. The French CAC 40 also down 0.01%. Looking to US stocks, again, it's looking pretty mixed. Netflix is down 8.26%, Nasdaq down 1.05%, the Dow is slightly up 0.41%, S&P 500 is down 0.39%, Meta shares also down 2.76%. Well, that's it from me on Global Business Insights. This is Bode Oshosami. Please share, kindly follow on Facebook and LinkedIn, subscribe on YouTube and X. Thank you very much for watching and following. Bye-bye.